We got a couple quotes, and actually we had a quote some years back from Bright Eye, and then we didn't make a decision until 2025 with the tax credits expiring. So I went back to Bright Eye's quotes, and it was most competitive. And all the people I interacted with, which included Jim, the owner, and Michael, one of your salespeople, were both like tremendously helpful, answered all of my questions. And I think because our process was a little bit strung out, I felt like they were accommodative of that, even though it took us some years to actually pull the trigger. Super easy. We had, they were communicative about timeline, like when were they coming out. In fact, the timeline they gave, they wound up being early, which was fine, but everything was done within 3 days, I think. Russell was, from the start was very communicative. He explained like what would happen on day 1 and what would happen on day 2 and what would happen on day 3. The crew that came out, I wasn't around most of the time when they were doing the install, but when things came up or they just had questions, they just called me at work. So that was super simple. And I just felt like I knew what was happening, which was a big deal. And I knew the time frame. And then even afterwards, when we were waiting on PP&L to get things hooked up, RJ kept in touch, or Russell kept in touch. And it was all just a very smooth experience. Yeah, so our panels went up in November of 25, tail end of 25. So we were like in the darkest months of the year. So we could see power happening. It wasn't fully offsetting our usage, but by March of 2026 was our first full month where we were completely solar. So my PP&L bill was like $16, which is just their connection fee. So that felt like a great win. We had added a vehicle in that time frame. So that was, we had kind of planned for that and how big our system was. So by the time we're in spring now, we're totally offsetting our usage on our property. So that feels like a big win. And from what we planned for the size of our system, we should fully offset and then have significant buffer even on a year-to-year basis. So even if we add another electric vehicle or we switch to a heat pump heating system, we feel good that we're kind of totally offsetting our electricity usage over the course of a year. So yeah, great win. Well, definitely run the numbers. I mean, when we put our system in 25, it was kind of a no-brainer. It's almost impossible to get the kind of immediate return on spend that you get anywhere else. I'm a financial advisor, so I think in terms of return on investment, and it's hard to beat solar just in terms of how fast you get your payback for something like that. And then it should have a 25-year lifespan plus. So we plan to be here. This is our forever home, so we viewed it as an investment for the long run. And I'd say just get a quote, find out what the numbers look like. And even between when we started the process, like I said, we got a quote in probably 2022 till 2025 when we did our installation. Solar panel costs themselves had come down so far that we were probably another 20% under the original price. It's pretty remarkable. So I don't know, I guess it seems to me like the solar panels just keep getting better and prices keep improving. So it seems like a compelling time to make the investment, make the switch.